as in the hot, when we tell all these efulefus that is called themselves City Boys movement, that is going to fall on that stupid man's mandate, they said we are too emotional. Youths that organize themselves contributed money out of their hard-earned money under this Tulumbu's harsh economic condition of the country called zoo. Gathered themselves, rented a bus, going to Sokoto to pay a solidarity movement to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was stopped on the way, harassed on the way by zoo immigration, abducted them, took them somewhere in Zamfara, extorted all their money, and then abandoned them to their fate. In fact, they even spoiled their car. Yet, no any media that is broadcasting it. I repeat, no any mainstream media in the zoo that is talking about this. And yet, you want me to believe in one Nigeria. It have gotten to the what I call it, the turn of the so-called one Nigerianist in the Biafra land to produce Inspector General of Police by name Frank Mba. He was forced into retirement so that his junior colleagues in the office would be promoted. His junior, who have 40 days to retirement, was chosen over somebody who have 8 solid years for retirement. And yet, you want me to blatantly open my eyes to preach one Nigeria. Make una listen to this clip from our brother, or rather from my mother, from another mother, Chinedu, Biafra in Finland, display name on Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube. Let us listen to him, and after that we'll come back here to dissect more on this very particular message. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more interesting videos.
A group of boys going to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu were abducted at gunpoint. They were tortured. They were kidnapped, detained, and subsequently extorted at gunpoint, all because they were going to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All this was done by the Nigerian immigration authorities. Look at the report here. Immigration officers arrest, extort money from youths traveling to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. 3 Nigerian youths traveling from Kano to Sokoto to visit the detained IPOB leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have accused officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service of arresting, detaining, and extorting money from them before abandoning them stranded in Zamfara State. They said, on our way to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto, we were arrested and detained here for 7 hours, extorted and left us stranded in Zamfara State by Nigerian immigration. They also said, on Sunday, while traveling from Kanu to Sokoto to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we were stopped by immigration officers at the entrance of Zamfara State. After searching our vehicle, they asked me and my colleague to step down. Can you imagine? According to him, the officers accused them of attempting to travel illegally to Libya, despite their explanations that they were heading to Sokoto. They said, they accused us of attempting to travel to Libya. We firmly denied this allegation and explained that we were simply on our way to Sokoto. Despite this, they searched our bags and thoroughly examined our phones, he said. He added that the situation escalated after officers allegedly discovered photographs of him with activist and politician Sowore and other activists on his phone. He said, during the search on my phone, they saw photographs of me with Omoyele Sowore and other Nigerian activists. From that moment, they concluded that I am an activist. They immediately seized my phone and refused to allow me access to it. I I pleaded with them to let me make calls so that people will know my whereabouts, but they refused. Instead, they repeatedly warned us about how dangerous the area was. He further said that the officers demanded large sums of money before allowing them to proceed with their journey. He said, "We were taken into a room where we met 5 other people, 2 young girls and 3 men. The officers told us that if we wanted to continue our journey, we would have to pay 200,000 plus additional 30,000 for transportation to Sokoto." According to him, after prolonged arguments, the officers reduced the demand to 50,000, which the travelers still could not afford. They continued threatening us, he said, saying that bandits will attack us here and you at any moment, and that area was unsafe. He also said that 2 young female travelers paid 230,000 after pressure from the officers right there in their midst. He said, "I tried to advise them to reconsider. The officers immediately shut me down and warned me not to speak to them. One officer stated that all they cared about was collecting their money and nothing more, and that whatever happened to the girls afterward was none of their concern." The victims claimed that the officers later arranged for a truck to transport the girls onwards. Eventually, after continued pressure, the youths said a point of sale operator, which is POS, was brought in and they transferred 30,000 before being allowed to leave. Shockingly, shortly after leaving the checkpoint, the driver stopped and claimed he had only been given 3,000 naira, not 30,000 naira. We were left stranded without money and had to start calling people to send us funds so we could continue our journey. I had to read this report extensively because it concerns Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and people who we are going to visit him. I wanted you all to hear the details of the report that they gave firsthand, because it's very important that at times like this you need to hear everything from the horse's mouth before I say what I have to say. We live in a country where there is no rule of law, there is no justice, a country with a high level of Igbophobia and a hatred for the Igbo tribe, a country that is unapologetic for their evil ways and weaponized extortion using the Nigerian security organizations. They have been turned to beggars, they have been turned to, brutalizers, they have been turned to torturers. Definitely, these people who work for the security agencies, immigration, police, army, they are very well underpaid intentionally because they want to be able to use them for acts like this. That is why they intentionally not pay them. That is to show you that the end of Nigeria has come, because these characters can never change. It is part of the program, part of the matrix. All they want to do is to trap, control, and abuse the masses, the people that matter. And of course, in this aspect, Ndibo, because these young men were going to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu clearly, and the officers knew that these young boys were innocent, going on a prison routine visit. A visit that was not meant to take them normal day. If Kanu was being posted to the proper place, should very easy to have been achieved. But now people spend thousands, millions of naira going to visit Nnamdi Kanu, encountering such insults, such disturbances and extortions on the road. Because definitely, when you are going to visit Nnamdi Kanu, anybody can just say anything they like, use anything they like, allegation upon your head, end of the day, extort money from you, which is exactly the hallmark of Nigeria as a country. I want the entire world to see for themselves. I want lovers of one Nigeria to see for themselves. Perhaps this looks like justice to them, I don't know. Where young men are being targeted, persecuted for their beliefs, for their associations. Where is it written in the Constitution That people are not free to visit who they want to visit. That people are not free to go where they want to go. That people are not free to associate with who they want to associate. Where is it written? It's a pity because these young officers are the same people who these activists and people like Sowore fight for every day. End of the day, after extorting money and trapping the citizens, they end up retiring without benefits. They end up suffering after service. After service, they end up suffering. But look at them. Told people not to allow people to go and see Kanu. If you see supporters of Nnamdi Kanu, stop them. And you went ahead and stopped them.
And let me pause here and add this so before I forget. I think we need to also thank God. So we need to thank God. We need to thank God that they were not being captured by the zoo military. Like all these ones, all these repentant Boko Haram. They would have arrest them. They would have taken them into Wawabarak. They would have taken them into underground pit. They were even mutilate their bodies and throw them into the pit. Thank God, though, they are alive to tell the story. After all, many of our brothers have been arrested at checkpoints simply because they search your phone and they see a flag of IPOB or any picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They got you arrested and send you. In fact, they will deny you everything. A lot of our guys have died in that regard. Thank God that these guys were alive to tell the story. At least this is the price we need to pay for demanding our own nation, because everything you have, every position you are in this life have a price to pay. This is part of the prices we are paying, and I think that price we have already paid it to the end. This is the end of it, and so shall it be. Let us dissect the comment sections. Samson Mbogado said those people are robbers. Nigerian government know what they do to keep Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto. That is why anybody that is going to visit him must come in contact with Nigerian security agencies. All of them are criminals. They are all criminals, and they will never go scot-free, according to what this my brother said here. Anyway, we don't have much time to waste. I would have said let me keep continuing reading, but I want to hear your own thoughts at the comment section of this video. What do you think that we should do on this kind of issue? I think we need to signal those guys. If there's any way we can get their contact, I think BIAFRAN needs to support them because of the trauma they passed through going to visit our leader. Those who are in support of the motion say aye, and those who are against say nay. The aye have it. Drop it at the comment section. If you laugh me, Managa will upload the trouser. Now maybe a babio of this Okute Daily Talk channel. Say aye, and the nay have it. It's all right.